We got a knife round here. We got a knife round between these two teams. And I just realized I didn't turn the sound on. That's why knife rounds are good, John. Our faces are coming up here in a second.
Everything was going perfectly today, Mike.
You know what's funny?
Yep.
Oh, no, I broke it. Hold on, your face wasn't showing up. Fortunately, I didn't leak anything. All good, chat. All good. Scuff production. You needed to get a few more scuff production moments, before this qualifier ended.
Yeah.
It's been a journey.
One for the road, Mike.
With Darth Mike Prod. So, yeah, just a little more to let you know where you came from. But what was I going to say? I was going to say something. It was even, I think, clever, John. But what was it?
I'm not sure. It was in your head.
Well, I guess it's gone now. Oh, I was going to say, so often when I watch knife rounds, I will watch the whole knife round, and then when it's done, not remember who won. Just immediately, I don't care about the information, so my brain just does not store it. Because knife rounds are pure randomness and silly. Might as well coin flip.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. Maybe we should just switch to a coin flip at a certain point.
Hear me out. Zeus duels.
Yeah?
That's the true meta. Just both sides line up with Zeus's. And let fly. And if you miss your Zeus, then you go to the knife. Or you just then have the fists from Danger Zone.
That would be fun.
I think that's the ticket. Fast play in towards B, and dumau will collect one, spamming on through the smoke. This bomb's going down, but it's a fast flank, and Floppy, he's got the fight that he so very much craves. He's in charge of holding on here at Banana. He'll dodge the flashes and still connect. They didn't expect him to linger. And Floppy is just making himself a nuisance. Meanwhile, everyone else is dead, and Floppy just kills them all. A 4K on Banana as Floppy says, "You shall not pass."
Oof. Very nicely done for Floppy. 4K on the round, 1-0 for Complexity. And now a timeout going to be called here. It appears as though we have another technical issue, but it does give us time to talk about Inferno a little bit, right? So Complexity on this map usually find a lot of success over the last 3 months. 7 games played, 5 wins, only 2 losses, and a plus 19 round differential. Over on the GODSENT side, they don't play it that much. Only 3 times over the last 3 months, 1 win, 2 losses, and a plus 3 round differential. But notably, they played this map in the last BO3. It was the decider again. And man, oh man, was it a back and forth fire fest. And I mean, GODSENT really pushed Complexity to the very limit, literally. 14-16, they ended up going down. Oh my goodness, and Complexity took that one. But of course, here with so much more on the line, Complexity would definitely like to find a cleaner win than that. But on the GODSENT side, of course, they want to bring it to them once more. I don't know what is going to necessarily go down here. Last time it was dumau popping off, as has been the case over the last few BO3s for him. He ended up dropping 23 frags, 80 in that BO3, by the way, but 23 on Inferno. Maybe he can help power them to victory, or not to victory, but I shouldn't say not to victory, to victory this time, because last time it didn't work out.
I think that, so it's interesting. I think dumau's actually been a little quieter so far today. He's still been really good. He's actually been near tops of the board, I think, in most maps.
He's almost pacing the scoreboard, but yeah, he definitely has been quieter. He's 37 over the last 2 maps.
Yeah, he's not dropping 30 around or a map though, which is what he was doing yesterday,
Yeah.
or dang near close. So it is interesting. Now they've still been incredibly strong. I mean, obviously Vertigo is great, and Lato in particular, I'm noticing is stepping forward in a big way, which is also very nice to see. So they're certainly a team that doesn't need one player to shoulder the load, right? dumau, Barton, Lato, they can all really step up and be that star power. And, I mean, Henny as well. Obviously, we know he's had explosive performances with that AWP. And even we've seen throughout this qualifier, Taco's been fragging, man. Like, he's had some really rough maps, but outside of those, he's been fragging. He was certainly in the last, and that's a huge piece of what propels them through, especially since he plays as the B anchor or the B lurk. It's such a critical play on Vertigo, and he did a great job of it.
Yeah, definitely on Vertigo. I'd say overall still he's not necessarily hitting the pace of the rest of his teammates, but doing better than he usually does. There's no doubt about that one. As we're We're still waiting for reconnect to happen.
Yeah, we got an FPS bug, it seems.
Yeah. Oh, man,
so we're just
again.
getting a little
I-
PC
that-
restart.
The fact that that's still anyway. I won't get into it.
You
but
think we
it's-
patch bugs here in Counter Strike? Look, Valve is a small indie company, and they don't have the resources to patch bugs like that. That's why we just leave them in the game for extended periods of time and then ban a bunch of coaches as a result.
Oh my God, Mike, you really went all in on that one,
Dude. I mean, here's the thing about all of these bug abuse situations. On the one hand, yes, any form of competitive integrity breach is massively serious and needs to be punished. If you knowingly exploit the bugs or of any sort, that is, terrible. But if you leave a bug in your game for years that multiple people have pointed out to you, and then you're like, oh, people were using this? Come on!
Oh. Well, let's hope they fix it, right? We've been hoping for years, but keep on hoping. Bring attention to it if you can. But, well, we're still waiting for the reconnect to come through. Also want to talk about Grim again, Mike. He has been pacing the scoreboard, as was the case yesterday as well. A little quieter, the same as Dumau, right? Quieter in his presence, particularly on Vertigo, but still good enough for 48 frags and an 85.6 ADR. So we're going to be looking to him once more here. Perhaps Floppy as well. I think Floppy has taken the back seat to Grim.
Yeah, in a lot of ways. He's been quieter, I think, through this series as well. You still see those big moments like that pistol round, obviously.
Yeah.
I see that's just hitting Twitch chat now. I see a lot of can't stop the flop spams in Twitch chat. So it seems like that round's just going through. Don't worry, you guys are going to get a nice long break after hearing that, as we are still in it. All right, this goes 30 more seconds. I'll hit us on a pause. Just to pull up the music, because I am firmly of the belief that as soon as you cue the music, it fixes the tech issue. It's witchcraft, John.
It's tried and true.
Tried and true. Always works. 100% of the time, eventually. That's actually not true. I've had games delayed a day because of some sort of crazy issue. That was more back in the day when DDoSing was more of a concern.
Yeah.
Haven't had that issue, fortunately, knock on a whole lot of wood. Not in a long time.
I think anyway, I think last season of ECL there was one match where that happened, but I'm not sure if it was DDoSing or just some weird issue.
I know we had, it was either last season or the season before where we had massive storms across the Midwest that knocked out a bunch of players' power, and we had to postpone a match by a day because I think it even got postponed by a week because just literally, 3 players lost power one after another.
It was crazy, yeah. I think that was when tornado was coming through or something.
Some nutty ones. Fortunately, of course, no one was hurt. That's the most important thing.
Yes.
Games can always be postponed. Safety is important. I do remember at one point, there's a Party Astronauts game. I don't even know if it was when they were Party Astronauts, but it was a game that Pomalone was in where a tornado rolled right through his town, and they called a pause. He left, went down into the basement while the tornado was rolling through, and then came back and finished the game.
That's crazy. I don't remember that.
I don't remember when that was, but I have this distinct memory. Someone I'm sure can go back and find it, but he's just a nutter. The 31-year-old talent.
Yeah.
All right. Apparently we are still restarting the PC. So I'm going to go ahead and throw it on just a little bit of break music here, folks. I know you like the bangers. I know you like the tunes, and I'm firmly of the belief that they solve all problems tech-related, so we'll be back in a flash. Okay, folks. Pretty sure they're ready. They told us they're ready, so if they lied, I'm going to feel very sad. Apparently, Barton's PC basically caught fire. It was registering massively high temperatures and was melting down. So they tried to do a restart, and they wound up doing a full-on PC swap to get things resolved. Hopefully, that means we're going to be fixed. I thought it was about to kick, but it doesn't seem like it's going to kick. But anyways, we're back in here. We're back in here as JRaz flies us around. And I can no longer open chat to monitor this. So what's going on, John?
He's rejoining the server. He'll be back. Yeah.
Let's see. Is he
hopefully
in? Is he?
He's not in yet.
He's not
in yet. Yeah.
Came back too early, folks. I jinxed it.
I know.
It's my fault.
Thought it was ready.
I jinxed it. I thought we were ready. So, do we go back to break? I think we go back to break. Otherwise, this is going to continue forever, folks. I'm going to try this again one more time. Hopefully, it's brief this time. We'll be right back. We're back. I hope. We're still looking at PC. This is actually an accurate representation of Barton's PC right now. The one that caught flames. But I have it on a reliable source. So we should be going live soon. And my game's muted. Hang on, John. All right.
1
sec.
We're good.
We're going to our faces. You ready?
Sure. Yeah, I'm ready. I'll keep
ready?
calling it.
All right.
Yeah. 140 on the clock here. As looks like Complexity is going to go for an aggressive push towards alt mid.
And we're
Grim's
back in
already
the game.
jumped into the window. Great. Grim's moving in with the Galil. And Complexity are going to send 2 players through the apartments and a couple of them down mid. Only pistols here for GODSENT. They are forcing up into those, though. 2 Deagles, 257, CZ, Junior, and JT spamming through the smoke. They have gained the space here. Looks like they're going to commit. And you do see, it looks like Fang waiting on the bottom of Banana to try and pick off an attempted flank and rotation. So it's a good position for him on the lurk. The thing is, Complexity decide not to fully commit towards that A hit, and now they're rotating on back to the B site. The thing is, they do leave another player behind at A this time. That's JT. He'll try to pincer in towards CT and get some info. He spots out one. Maybe that's enough to get a rotation from GODSENT, but I think they're committed to holding here over at B, and Lato gets the headshot. He gets traded out immediately, but that's still good work.
A little bit of juice here. Deagle goes wide, though. Dumau can't connect. For once, Dumau's Deagle is not just an insta-kill. Usually it is. This time he's gonna stumble. And now the bomb makes its way over. Those shots almost looked on. Oh, my goodness. This is an interesting one. Why are they backing away? Why are they backing away? Seems like they might have expected this to be a fake, but it seems like it's going to be a save indeed. They don't want this. They're going to keep their armor pistols into the next round.
They won't have anything, Mike, if they don't save this, right? So it's better to save what they've got and try again next round.
Thank you for bearing with us during that lengthy tech pause vote. We should be good to go here. In the interim, both sides discussed the fact that they would rather there were just 3 spots in IEM Dallas for the qualifier, and that we should just call it a truce and move both teams through the event. And I would really love that personally. I think both these teams are incredible and so much fun to watch, and it'd be amazing to have them at the first North American event back in so long.
I agree.
But we don't have that many spots. We only have 2.
It's a little sad, honestly. There were... I could have handpicked 3 teams, if not GODSENT, than someone else, right? Or that would have been able to make it. But yeah, I agree. 2 spots, it's tough, but that's the reality. That's how many are available, and we'll see which of these 2 teams are going to be able to make it through. But it's great to see that they're on good terms. Very friendly conversations going on, and I love to see it.
Everyone having a good time.
Yeah.
It is kind of crazy, though, because... Okay, JT's fine. Nothing interesting is likely to happen this round unless this Deeg mows everybody down. It's just get along. A little bit of excitement injected in. That's it.
Mike.
But I was gonna say, I mean, these last couple of matchups, right? Liquid, Complexity, that feels like a main event matchup. GODSENT, Complexity, that feels like a main event matchup. The caliber of teams in this competition, I know we make a lot about the death of NACS and this, that, and the other thing, but it is very exciting, the caliber of teams that we have coming up, and I feel like this year, 2022, as we get back to having events in the US, as we get back to the scene growing a little bit more, it is going to be pretty good for NA. I'm an optimist, John.
Me too. And I think there are a lot of good up-and-coming teams like Bad News Bears, Party Astronauts, and even Carpe Diem, to keep an eye out for. And I really hope we see more org support come through as well, right? Because you get that financing, especially under teams like Carpe Diem, Party Astronauts. If they just get a little bit of funding, a little bit of financing, more boot camps in Europe, they will be much, much better off and highly competitive.
And I mean, hey, we've now got the number 3 team in the world signed to a North American organization, and that means they're NA. I will hear no otherwise. New Cloud9, it's an NA team that plays NACS. Totally not from a different region. Don't worry about it.
Can't say I feel the same, but
I really hope that Cloud9 relocates them. I suspect they're going to relocate them somewhere in Europe, but I really hope that Cloud9 just says, to heck with it, and relocates them to NA, and that Hobbit we get to adopt Hobbit. I want to take Hobbit on a tour of the United States. I feel like it'd be great.
If they start playing in NA, I think it's a different story, right? But I don't think it's going to happen.
NA team, make it happen. Make it so. Make it so.
It'd be a lot to ask to relocate them all the way.
Not
Anyway, Fang.
Fang is asking, hey, can I have a frag? Just one wee little frag. Comes at the cost of 95 of his health points. Woo, that's great out the Lotto, and he's going to go for the smoke as well. They've got him dead. There's no way he's getting out of this. Oh my goodness. He actually did get a shot on the Grim, so considering how dead he was, getting any damage out of that is kind of huge.
I'm not sure if Complexity is going to challenge here at B, Mike, because I'm pretty sure they're going to realize what's happening is a rotation on over, and the bomb is still postured at mid. It hasn't committed yet, and yeah, they are going to rotate off this B hit. This is a good call.
Yeah, no interest in that once they see the op, especially with Fang so low, right? If they can bully the lower site, this could be huge. Taco's worked his way in towards Graveyard, though. He was pretty tremendous when put on an island over on Vertigo, right? As that B anchor. Feeling like he might be able to bring some heat here as well. Now, the question is, does he get a Molotov? And instead, he gets 2 kills.
What a peek.
So he's going to be able to make this possible. Fang was admittedly a wisp away from death, so it didn't take many bullets, but a headshot as well confirmed it. Martin, he's trying to buy some time for his team, but his comrade is far away. Henny rotating in with that AWP is going to have a lot of ground to cover. And in the meantime, Complexity can work their way into their post-plant positions.
Yeah, if you're a solo hold on the A site, Graveyard's actually a pretty good place to play because all that shows is your head when you peek up, and it is easily overlooked because of the fencing that's in that position. So, not a bad call for Taco, and makes the 2K, so it's a lot more viable now for GODSENT to get this retake, and they do have the smoke to help them out.
It's one of those classic where you have to sprinkle it in, right? If they deady clear it, you're dead every time. But if they don't, well, pretty darn good. And it looks like Kenny's going to turn into saving this one. He does get one final kill, a parting gift, but he's going to have to duck dip out of there with the AWP. Sprint, head for the hills. And Junior joins the space program.
Not far away enough from that bomb was Junior, and he does indeed go down. But Complexity have not gone down once yet in terms of rounds, 4-0 in their favor. Full loss bonus has gone into effect here on the GODSENT side, and they do have the op that was saved over from the previous round. So a force buy here wouldn't necessarily be a bad idea, but it looks like they're going to play it on the conservative side. And they're going to invest in what appears to be a shotgun here. The Swag 7 from Taco. Maybe trying to channel a little bit of Pwn alone here on Inferno, but he's not going to be playing the typical Pwn position over at the half wall. 3 Deagles round out the buy here around that AWP. And over on Complexity, they're again going to challenge around Banana, and this time GODSENT want to save their utility for the latter part of the round, so they're not going to engage in any tomfoolery around there.
Taco's been watching Funnel and demos. He's ready with the mag. Taco's moment. Unfortunately, I don't think they're going to... Yeah, he's not getting this opportunity, so... Molotov. Maybe they're just going to chase them into Taco. Raise the heat. the boiler room. It's a good place to raise the heat. But no, doesn't seem like it's going to happen. They're redoubling their efforts towards B. There are 2 players here. And Henny's AWP could be very spicy indeed. Oh, Lotto takes the first. That might distract just enough. There's the op striking, but Fang can't clear this. Henny, he's burning, but he's got a smoke to keep himself alive. And now this is big pressure on. Bit of a catastrophe here for GODSENT. There's a player in the pool. But Henny's repositioning. He's relocating. Making his way around. And he's been eliminated. Still dangerous. There are 3 players up. Floppy is low. This is going to need some snappy shooting. His pressure is coming on, and the bomb is still not planted. So one of these players is going to have to commit their hands to putting that bomb down. They have to get up to the smoke phase.
Nice shot.
Boost. Nice prediction there from Junior, and he hits Taco as well. So there's the op shining through, John. There's the clean kills from Junior, and that might just be enough all onto this man, Barton. He's deadly with the dig, but he's out of time. Doesn't have a kit, doesn't have any further util, and he's got 2 players to clear, so he'll give it a try. But it has to be now. It has to be instant. And he's been spotted. Position known. Another kill for Junior as he chimes in for his 3rd. That AWP putting in the work to make sure things don't go off the rail for Complexity.
Yeah, I mean, despite the loss on Vertigo, I still felt like Junior's op was clicking very well, and on Ancient even better. It's carried over here onto Inferno. Hasn't even died yet. 5-0, and really saves the bacon for Complexity in that round because, wow, great work from Henny to give the advantage on over to his team. It's just that they didn't have enough firepower after he went down to ensure that retake, and particular utility was very lacking. That said, still damage done. Economy kept in check on the Complexity side, and now GODSENT running through full on by. Look at this utility. I don't think JT can get away from this. He can't. The Molotovs were surrounding him, and he couldn't get the smoke down in time, and Lato ends up finishing him off with the bullets, although he would have died anyway. So now, an early advantage here for GODSENT. Dumau, smoke fate, perhaps in his favor. No, Complexity going to tuck tail behind that half ball, and now Fang is going to peer on out once more and gain the space and make sure no one was at sandbags. Lato's dropping a little bit of utility for his teammate as he boosts up onto the flower pots.
What do you think JT barbecue tastes like?
Do you mean if he were in charge of the barbecue?
Yeah, I guess I'm wondering where I'm going with this question too, because I'm basically asking you about cannibalism, and I feel like even for me, this might be a bridge too far.
It is a bridge too far.
Back away
I will
from
not
this
entertain
bit.
this.
I'm gonna back away from this bit. Yeah, it's too weird. It's too weird, even for me.
Yeah.
Junior has been collected. He might be the next one. And here comes the pressure on in, clearing the flower plots again. That's been deadly for GODSENT, and now the numbers are evened up. And look at this forward positioning. What was that from Grim? Trying to get the momentum to fly around, but Henny's prepared for it. He knows about the spicy peaks. They do have Floppy out on Banana. If you remember from the pistol round, this could be a strong spot. This time they're not going to count it there. They're going to try and swing on in, and Taco, well, he's a little bit ahead of the flashbang, and Floppy, though, blinded, caught sight of his prey before the white lights came in. Barn going to have to clear Banana. Oh, that gun barrel's spotted. You know he's coming, and so they are prepared. It's all on to Henny, who's gone to the rifle instead of the AWP, and now he thinks, I kind of like that op.
I think he's just going to have to go.
I mean, he doesn't have time anymore. He's lost the round. So the question is, can he save this op? The answer is no.
No. I was going to say, I think he just has to go and try and find these fights and frags, but in the end, he doesn't even get to save the big green, and a 6th round in a row found for Complexity. GODSENT reeling here. Was the case on the previous map as well of Vertigo, and they did recover quite handily, so definitely never count GODSENT out of anything, but at the very least, Complexity have forced them back down to a half buy here. 3 Deagles, the Swag 7 again for Taco, and the MP9.
Oh, aggression down mid. It works out. They catch one. How's he done so much damage, Henny? Just hitting the yeet button. And he finds a kill, and he damages up 2 more with just an MP9. That's going to make them so much more vulnerable to the body shots from the D, to the Mag 7 as well.
Yeah.
That's kind of a huge play, really, probably. I mean, the 1 kill on the surprise, perhaps, but dang, he gets away with a lot.
I think B's soft, though, right now, and even though they've been lit up, it's just one player playing from CT. That's Lato. He's going to throw a smoke here, but almost certainly Complexity will get one back. Yep, go ahead.
You know, the thing about most Bs is they are quite soft, but the problem is they've got this pesky little thing called a stinger. And it hurts a lot. So Lato right now is that stinger. He's kind of withdrawn, though. He's kind of been extracted.
No,
the thing about a stinger is most Bs only get to use it once. So Lato is already dead. Dumau, it turns out, delivers the toxin, but yeah, they've got the tweezers. Complexity have pulled it right out. And at this point, Mags have an op duel. I think I know who I favor. Oh, unless you don't actually hit him very much and go through the bricks. Now, maybe he could just play for exits, because that's what GODSENT are going to do. They've conceded the round. It will be 7 in a row to start off this map for Complexity. But an upgrade here gives Taco something to take home.
Yeah, he'll be happy to just get away from this fight completely and save the AK. Over on the other end, Barton's still waiting for those exits, and he very well might find one. I don't think Complexity are going to hard clear this, so Barton has one shot at least for free, and he misses that free shot. So now they know where he is. They can avoid him or try to take the fight. One way or another, Complexity is going to get the 7th round on the board, and Fang engaging, goes down to the bomb, and at least Barton manages to get one casualty, not necessarily with the gun, but keeping Fang close to the bomb site right before he goes down to Floppy's deagle. Complexity up to 7, and they're only 1 round away from taking this half without even letting GODSENT get on the board. But GODSENT will be back here. They saved the AK that Taco managed to grab, and the 4 A1Ss are going to come through. Looking at the scoreboard, though. Oh, yeah, go ahead, Mike.
I was going to say, it's kind of wild, actually. If you look at the money for Complexity, they don't actually have a lot saved up. They probably got a buy in the tank, but it's 7-0. And GODSENT have done a really good job of at least making these rounds expensive.
Yes.
Crappy. They just haven't been able to crack them through. So if they ever do, the path to a comeback isn't outrageous. But
definitely not.
That first step is a hard one to take.
Yeah, and the rounds are already piling up, so they really do need to find a way to put a dent into this right here and right now. Barton, boosts up on the flower pots, decides to fall off it here on the A site and go back to a familiar position near the boost spot. Just waiting with Taco here on the site proper. Not much pit presence, so there is an opening down lane for Complexity to charge down, but they continue to try and abuse this B site, and I can't really blame them. It's been working round after round. They've been able to hit their shots, win the duels. Utility usage has been fantastic, so keep on trying for it. Who's going to come in here at new box? dumau going to be on top of it. Usually you have a player below it to ensure the trade, but this time they're just going to leave dumau boosted up, and Lato's going to be playing behind the pillar. Complexity about to move on forward. Smoke thrown closer to the site. In fact, not for CT just yet, but they do have another one that they'll likely toss on forward because the execute has not come through just yet. 41 seconds left on the clock here. No frags to speak of, but yep, here they come. Molotov there for new box. dumau fell off of it, and they are charging on forward. Lato's right between both smokes, so he has a chance to strike, and he does, but Floppy gets one right after that, though. It's all GODSENT, Mike. 4 frags combined, and Junior's the last one standing, wondering, hey guys, where'd you go? By his lonesome.
Wild. Great use of the smokes for GODSENT, creating a gap between the smoke that they knew Complexity was going to throw and their own, allowing them to peer on through for the player who'd hop out of the pool. That's brilliantly done. That's reading exactly what your opponent is going to attempt and knowing how to counter it. Really nicely done from GODSENT. Really nicely called round, and a huge way to get on the board here, John.
Absolutely. I mean, just Lato himself, he saw it, just waiting right between that smoke and using those smokes that were thrown to his advantage, like you said. So, well played by GODSENT. They cracked the board exactly when they need to, and you did mention the fragility of the economy here for Complexity, and you see the result of it in Grim having to settle for the MAC-10, but still, you know, you got a couple of AKs, the op, JT on the Galil, shouldn't be too shabby here. I think Complexity might finally move away from that B site, though. It's been rebuffed, so now they're just going to have a lurk there.
Here is the thing. Oh my god, look at this aggression out from Barton. He's flying in, they're not expecting it. He gets a kill and he's out! My goodness!
Could get a second here.
Plays. He might get caught. Spray a little bit hog wild in the smoke, and he's able to get away. That's insane. I mean, so Barton, I think, frustrated that he hadn't been able to crack the board just yet. Just decides to throw a brick on the gas pedal and go flying into the opponents. And it worked out. So they're already down a man. That is insane aggression. Complexity are certainly being shown that they need to respect any potential peak coming through from GODSENT.
Barton is fortunate that he didn't get caught, right? Yeah. Because he had to charge all the way down the hallway, and Complexity were putting on the pressure. The smoke saved his bacon. Floppy sees that Molotov in front of him, and then it's going to be a smoke right after that. So there's not really much ground to be gained in that apartment area just yet, but Grim, with the op in his hands, is going to move up from mid along with Fang, and maybe if they find this frag on Moto on dumau, they can open up some space for themselves to move around and wrap the B site or just charge onto A. Henny is right there too.
Yeah. Spot for Henny. He's got one. Okay. Grim goes low, but that's a brilliant shot. I mean, who knew Grim was such an opper, man? Dude's
He's
legit
good.
with the big green.
He used to use it a lot.
Such a strong setup, and yeah, JT's down. Crossfire is deadly. It's going to be so tough to dismantle, and it all falls apart. So 2 rounds chained for GODSENT. Not just that job, but 2 rounds with most of their players surviving. That cash is starting to build. That CT defense is going in, and without a bomb plant there, Complexity are rebuffed. And we're getting into that situation that we hinted at. The money wasn't built up for Complexity. The chance for this to just roll right back for GODSENT, it's right there for the taking.
Absolutely. And, I mean, that's just another good play by GODSENT. They read what was happening very well. They had 4 players, in fact, postured up there on the A site. Henny managed to get one just playing the rotation from the A site, and then after that, the other 3 players were able to cut things down with the crossfire. So, dumau going to get the opener here. Taco gets one, not a second. Barton helps him out, and Barton keeps Taco alive. Junior goes down to Taco at the end of the day, who pulls out the USP to get the job done. And GODSENT, even better now, they don't lose a single player there, so their economy is firmly underfoot, and a timeout absolutely needs to be called here by Complexity to calm things down. They will have a buy up here, but they realize that it's starting to feel a little bit like past maps, thinking on Nuke, thinking on, of course, Vertigo that just happened. Gotta be careful.
It's been the trend, right? Complexity come out to a huge lead, then GODSENT start to stabilize. That round, I just want to say, bullet economy, phenomenal for Barton and Taco, right? If they waste any bullets on those players sprinting through, they're stuck on the reload. Even the USP had to come out for the last, but it's surprising that they don't get at least one player overwhelmed by the 5 pistols.
Taco's just jumping around like, please, please don't die. Barton, help me. And then he recovered quickly enough to get the USP. But yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Great job using every single bullet effectively there of the A1S.
Still for Complexity, here those guns back out, right? Here's where you can crack back through. CT hasn't become unassailable yet. Yes, they've got cash built up, but crack 1 or 2 more rounds, and this is a really good half. Don't really want to give up the 7-0 start to roll all the way back to an even half. But if you get anything more from here, right? It's all gravy, baby.
Yeah.
It's all gravy. Now, B was what was working, but look at the reinforcements from GODSENT. They've got 3 players here. They've got the AWP here as well of Henny. I will say that cheeky smoke they threw into the middle and towards Fountain, I don't think that's going to work again, right? Now the boss is going to jack dumau. We'll just get the fight initially. Dump them by the sandbags. Put them up against the wall and take them down. No escape here. Complexity down 2 men. This is starting to be reminiscent of Vertigo for sure. Floppy trying to knife out. He's down to the cage, and he does succeed. Burning. Smoke goes down to survive, but he's the only one here. His teammates need to rotate, and in the meantime, that bomb could go down, but they don't realize. Complexity don't realize the opportunity that they've been given. And now they've waited a little bit too long. GODSENT wants to get back through. GODSENT wants to fight their way back through, and a relocation from Barton. He slipped into the mini pit, which could offset the arithmetic here. Oh, they're not going to realize. Now they know. Now they know. He has to be there. There's no other spot he could be in. But timing going to be everything on that smoke fade. Timing going to be everything. Barton's looking for this play. Into the pit they go. Need to get that bomb planted. Still, time's starting to become short. 25 seconds. They got to go, and everybody's here now. It's a gunfight. It's a firefight. The shots have to be perfect, and they can't get that bomb crossed. Doesn't even have time anymore. Grim from the pit will be a dead man. That's another one going the way of GODSENT. Another round with no bomb plant for Complexity.
I don't mind the waiting there from Complexity, right? Because Grim was in Graveyard in a prime position to punish because his positioning wasn't necessarily known. The thing is, I don't necessarily think he wanted to fall off to take that fight with the mini pit player. He just fired a shot and then took 1 step too far to the left and went down to pit because he loses an advantageous position in Graveyard that he could have fought a lot better from on the players that were coming from Moto. But in the end, falls down to pit, and after that the round is done and dusted because they could not get that bomb planted. All right, Complexity just going to try a bit of an all-out push here, and it's working so far. Henny could get overloaded by Taco supporting quite well, and now Henny realizing what's going on, gets the call out from his teammates. Will be able to at least survive a little bit longer to let the reinforcements wrap around. Now he's going to take a peek. Dangerous, but he's got the support to do it and connects on to Fang while the rest of the bodies fall here for Complexity. Only JT left standing who can't get anything either. And another clean round on their CT side. The money is flowing. The rounds are starting to stack up, and they have got 5 in a row looking to make it 6. Again, fantastic recovery from GODSENT here, and Complexity just don't have an answer.
It feels like GODSENT are like a computer that just needs a certain amount of
Yeah.
data points to start spitting out their strategy, right? It's like the first few rounds, they're just collecting information. Then the process goes through. Strategy realized, perfect defense enabled, no more rounds for the opponent. And that's happened again and again. It's starting to become a trend. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And that speaks so much to their ability to mid-round adjust to what their opponent's doing. I think that's incredible. Now, compare that with getting like a couple rounds at the beginning, like a pistol round or something. I mean, what are you even going to do if you're their opponent?
Okay, good smokes here, thrown by Complexity. They should be able to gain the space towards lane. Floppy loses the engagement to Barton, though, and Barton still has a good chunk of HP to work with. That said, Complexity might choose to go to CT. Look who's waiting there, though. It's dumau, and he is on point for another headshot. 5v3, he could get a second. No, Fang denies him, and that puts a lot of pressure onto Lato here. Not to mention, you have Grim lurking at Boiler. Could drop Henny, but no, Henny's ready for it, and he gets that frag. That said, there's still a possibility for a plant here. Still for Lato, important for him to deny this from
He has so much
Complexity.
information. He hasn't moved an inch. He has so much info, and he's just going to try and buy time. Not reveal a spot, make them think that they're safe on site. If he gets one here. Well, he's already bought the time. They haven't gotten onto site. He's got that information, so his teammates rotated, and now the op's here. Henny's having a game, by the way. We'll talk about that in a flash, because right now it's about this round. And out they move. Henny goes down. Lato follows. This round's still in doubt. 25 seconds. That ball will be planted. That cannot be denied from GODSENT, and as this smoke fades, this next shot could be it. There's a boost up. No. No,
Fang doesn't want to face.
Martin's so low. That molly doesn't find the right spot. The guesswork doesn't achieve its aim. One more shot could be it. Taco's down. And now, Barton, with no health, has to try and pull back this 1v2. Catastrophic situation for the young gun. This would require perfection. He's creeping around the corner. Fang will not hit the first. There's the swing. Almost there for Barton. He played it right. He had the read. He just didn't have the health for the firefight. That's another round for Complexity. At the very least, they'll take an edge headed into the halftime break.
Wow, that was really well played by Complexity. The utility that they had was used perfectly. They smoke off Banana, throw a Molotov as well, and then the nade connects for a significant amount of damage on all three players that were chunked up at Banana. So, I mean, they just were in slightly poor position to deal with that bomb plant, and then when Lato goes down, and of course those two frags come in from Complexity, it's just all their round to take. All right, Complexity do finally end that round win streak. Great news for them to put a stop to it. The question is, can they stop GODSENT from making this ever closer? Taco, gonna get some wall span coming through. Floppy has made his way into those apartments. Smoke is guising off Barton's position. And now, Molotov going to come through. GODSENT really doesn't want to give up this space in apartments, and Barton's just going to stick around here as well. A lot of time left here for Complexity. They've gained a very forward position in Fang up Banana, and he's just trying to make a little bit of noise to keep these GODSENT players here.
Now they're coming through. They're into the bulk of it, though. They're into the brunt of this hit. 3 players here, and Henny as well, who has been heating up with that AWP. It's mostly been his young teammates who've been lighting up the scoreboard so far, but this time it seems like it might be Henny's turn to shine, and we know what he can do with that AWP. He's done so much in the past. Are they going to be able to dig him out of the spot? No, they're not even going to challenge him. At least for the moment. Bomb goes further back. Arch is open. Arch is open. The rotations come on. Now they know where Henny's at. Do they go fast to try and chase this? They do accelerate to a degree. Molly going to make Henny very uncomfortable. The balcony player needs to bail him out. He will do so, but Henny burns. Bart from the pit, though. Bart from the pit is down. Floppy dropping in just in the nick of time. It's even numbers still, but Fang survives.
Uh-oh.
Molly might burn him. Molly might burn him. Is there smoke? Is there smoke for Fang? No. But he slips away. Bomb goes down. Junior hits the shot. Now it's a little bit more comfortable for Complexity. They can settle in.
Yeah. 3v2. GODSENT are already committed to the retake. They know how much damage has been done to Fang just by visibly seeing it. And Junior is going to connect on another one. Man, has he been good in these post plants. He's looking for one final frag. Taco Gonna be walking into him potentially. Junior's hard holding for this. They know that Taco's here, and Floppy's gonna be the one to deal the killing blow. There it is, Complexity, a second in a row. They make it 9-5. Good news for GODSENT as they built up enough economy to ensure that they'd be able to buy it for the remainder of this half. So this will be another strong buy from them. But Complexity finally getting that answer in the first half and stopping the run from GODSENT is critical.
They're looking for double digits. They're looking for those sweet, sweet double digits here. Looking to put a 1 and a 0 on the scoreboard to feel confident headed into the half. To be so very close to booking that spot in their hometown land. See what they can do. Dumau caught out in the open, trying to get in towards the sandbags. He gets burned out. Lotto's the next to fall.
Oh, what a
the
play.
young gun's gone. The B site is open, and Complexity doesn't even have to go on. They've just taken it with one man.
They're
just
waiting.
taken it for one man. They're rotating now. They wanted to see what would happen. This is insane. The one-man wrecking crew of JT. He's like, all right, guys. I mean, I guess, come here. The rotation's been pulled at this
They
point.
could go A. I mean,
They could, but it's the devil do you know versus the potential unknowns. If they've got a full util set to come join their comrade already on site. Here comes the hit. Through the smoke goes one. Peppered on down and dropped is Taco. This bomb can now be planted. Plenty of time, plenty of cushion. And even Molly's deep to make this that much more uncomfortable. A 5v2, a hopeless situation. Barton, though, does find the first. His Fang wants to get very, very aggressive. I don't know what Henny's doing so far back. But eventually he's going to have to come through because it is the last round of the half.
and he has the flash. There it is.
Setting up the nade. That doesn't do anything. Now it's all on Henny, and he's out of position, and he's really out of time. And he's out of his life. That's going to be 10-5 at the half. Complexity with a massive lead as they look to seal the deal here in map 3. Up. But GODSENT, they've been able to battle it back before. They've come back from these comebacks. They gutted it out tough. And they got their T side to try and keep this alive, to try and keep their hopes of an IEM Dallas spot in, to try and keep Complexity out of their hometown event. Can they do it? It's time to find out. What's this pistol setup? We got the 4-man crossfire at brackets. A classic. I call this the X-Wing setup.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's like the wings of the X-Wing. You got the cannons on the tip of each one.
That's clever. I like it. I'm using that.
It's something that you usually see in like pistol ecos. Don't see it as often in actual pistol rounds because it is such a gamble. But they're trusting that JT is going to be able to do some damage and maybe set them up for the retake. We'll see if their
Looks
trust
like
is rewarded.
GODSENT are going to be, though. They do have Barton, who'll probably be dead to rights as soon as he pops out here. But B is soft.
B is soft. Squishy. Right for the taking. Pliable. Comes the play. Util in. Here comes the execute. Now the 4 players are starting to flow through, so does Barton get anything from the boiler? He does get 1. He gets 2 as well. Oh, big kills for Barton. And now he's going to bring his teammates back over. They're bailing out. They're getting right out of here, and while JT will collect Lotto through the smoke, this is a problem because they've rotated off. They've read that this is going to be a B take, but no, it's not at all. And dumau's just killing everybody. The pistol is looking good for GODSENT. It's all on to Junior. And where does he even turn? This player's at his front. This player is his back. There's a bomb on A. Might get this one, but even then, he's got a duel with Taco. A little bit of an engagement. On, and he'll confirm that kill. A little Kobe. Little style points here for Junior. little more cash as well. Time is short. But he'll give it a try. A little bit of a poke back in. A smoke on towards the bomb. I think this one is a bit of a foregone conclusion, though.
Yeah, there's no kid on the ground, so Junior's just going to fall off here. He has the flashbang, which will bring over into the next round. And that's going to be that. GODSENT take the pistol round and make it 6. Yeah. And a kit. Oh, he did find the kit. It was towards B site.
Oh, there we go. All right, so now that's actually value taken through. The kit,
Yeah.
I struggle to know how much a kit's going to matter in this situation, right? Because unless you're going for a ninja defuse, retakes usually aren't the best in this kind of round. Unless they're going to force buy in.
I think those 5 extra seconds could have given him a chance. Not necessarily in this round, but in the previous round, if he would have picked it up, given the chance to kind of hunt those frags a little bit more. But without it, it's just, you know, it's a lost cause. Anyway, into this round, they are going to go for it, Mike. They're forcing up. They got a couple of Deagles, 2 MP9s, and the 5.7. Over on the GODSENT side is 3 Galils, 2 Mac 10s, and full-on utility. They're going to use that utility to take control of Banana, which they now very firmly have in their possession. But dumau's not really going to use it. Says, okay, we got it. Complexity knows it. Perhaps the psychological edge will give us what we need. He is going to throw that CT smoke. And then jiggle peek around the corner to make sure that no one's being cheeky up close. But Complexity are not trying to be aggressive, which is a good call because they have a couple of MP9s posted up here to prevent the B push, which is nice. The thing is, it leaves the A site with only the pistols. Nice nade tossed on forward to do damage against JT and Floppy. And now GODSENT are going to relocate themselves, likely for an A hit. Lots of utility committed to that fake.
Yeah. They've still got a full set for this site. 3 smokes, 2 mollies, a million flashbangs. Actually, 4 smokes. Counting's hard. So it's going to be fine, but the bodies are here, and I'm intrigued by the double balk. Very intrigued. Come around, pressure on. Even get the bail out into Arch, but they're not going to do it. Up the lane they go. They haven't committed yet, but they also haven't seen any yet. So one comes to play, and a chase on a Barton doesn't work out for Junior. But they might not expect another player here on balk, so there's the hit. It's only 1 for Grim, and this round's going to be fine for GODSENT.
Yeah,
Teeth
interesting
taken out of
setup.
this one.
Very interesting setup, but the fact that Grim has to give away his position to get that frag is kind of a shame because he really could have caught those players coming through the apartments off guard. And then if he gets the one up close first, and after that, it's easier to take care of the long-range players. Either way, Complexity at least brings forward those MP9s into the next round. GODSENT are inching ever closer to closing this gap down to potentially 0. Now, Mike, I know, you know, obviously Complexity, the hometown favorites. You want them to make it on forward. But for me personally, I love both these teams. I really do. So I think it's a shame that one of them isn't going to make it.
Yeah. And, I mean, look at the series that we've gotten from them. These have been bangers. Imagine a
They
stage
have.
game with GODSENT Complexity
Oh,
for
man.
the hometown crowd. That'd be sick. And, I mean, frankly,
Absolutely.
GODSENT have been playing in, I think their team house is in Monterey, I think. That's not far from Dallas. Basically their backyard. So yeah, maybe their fan base is in Brazil, but their location, their geography is closer to Dallas than it is to Rio.
Yes, it is.
That's all I'm saying. So basically what I'm saying here is by the transitive property, they're in ACS. And they stay small.
I love how far we have to go for that. But yeah.
I'm just a cognitively flexible person, John.
I like it. I'm fine with that.
Yeah. Everyone is. It's all NACS. Everyone except pure EU teams, NACS.
GODSENT really taking their time in the early goings here. Just feeling out what Complexity might be throwing their way, and Complexity have a very heavy stack towards his B site. That said, there is one quick rotation in the form of Junior who go back to the A site quite quickly, and Grim is tucked into the apartment, so he'll be able to call for reinforcements. He'll get the audio cues before GODSENT knows that he's here. The thing is, will Complexity even want to engage at that point? Oh, what a shot from Grim. A ripper onto Barton's head. And now with his position known, he's going to back off into pit. It might, but Grim has another chance to get a Deagle headshot here. No.
He spotted him? Did he not realize it? Maybe the time
They saw him.
They're backing. They're not backing. They're slowing. The rotation's not on. What more can Grim do? He's a pit monster. He's a pit demon, this guy. Not going to molly him, which is perhaps a mistake. He does a ton of damage.
Yeah.
No more headshots, but a ton of damage. If one more of those had landed. Who knows? Dualies, I'm not sure I love on the retake. But hey, let's see him rip, Junior. But the MP9, I mean, this could be a really costly round.
Could even take it still.
Yeah, it's possible.
Just have to be quick. There's no kit.
Are they backing? No.
They might.
There's not. It's not worth saving. Nothing that they have is really worth saving. Maybe the 2 sets of armor. I think they're trying to play exits. But they've got no one out towards ours, so that's not a great idea. And
there's no kit. It's over.
They're going out late. They're going out late, but yeah, the tick is too low. You can't do it. You can't win this. They were just trying to get some pesky exits. I think they were hoping that GODSENT were going to be saving towards the pit.
Yeah.
And then they'd be able to punish and make some money with the SMGs.
Or just trying to keep them on the site so they died at the bomb, but GODSENT were already too far away by the time they made their play.
Just clever cats. They slip away. Slink away.
There's 8. All right. Only a 2-round lead now for Complexity, but at least they're able to get their proper buy-up now. The 4 A1Ss and the Op 4 Junior, which has been clicking, and we're going to see what he can do towards Banana. Probably going to try and get ahead of that Molotov is my guess, but a smoke, then a Molotov comes through. There's a gap in the smoke, but the defusal of the Molotov by Complexity is actually worse for Junior as he gets tagged down to 11 HP. He's kind of stuck here. He has to get out, and he finally does, just barely. All right. Junior posted up now, CT side. And he'll take the position of JT, who rotates around to support A from library mode.
Every one of those HEs flying over, you know, Junior's just puckering. There's tension. Exhale. But he's made it through the util. There aren't any more HEs, so he's okay. Molly's maybe, but you know what? That's neither here nor there. Instead, the hit's been funneled back the other way. It's going to come towards A. Complexity have a bit of a strong setup here, especially if JT wants to get that nade is chunky. Looked like it had a homing beacon aimed at Barton's chest. So now they're going to try and come on in. Molotov in, but it's a little bit late. The spam, though, is right on point. GODSENT have been tagged on up. It almost looked like they wanted to split in towards B, but they're well positioned to defend it on the Complexity front. So now they'll adjust. And what is this thing? What was that spot? Okay, Grim from the pit now has major pressure, and JT's been cleaned out as well. Taka with these freebie kills. Grim can't deal with the player's sight. And that might just be the round.
I think Fang thought
blunder.
Junior. I think Fang thought sorry that JT was watching his flank.
He has to have. He has to have thought he was further out in the library. Miscomms, confusion, leaves himself so exposed, and that is the kill that sends the round caterwauling out of control.
Kind of a shame for Complexity because JT got a little lucky with that spam through the smoke, but then they can't really build off of it. And like we mentioned, that miscomm led to GODSENT getting a free frag and then eventually a free sight. So the Inferno save comes through, and GODSENT 1 round away from tying things up here on Inferno, and that lead is just evaporated.
Sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles on the half star, but the question is, what do they put around these guns? They could go.
They can buy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It won't be great in the util department, though, so I think this timeout's going to be to discuss how they want to approach this round, and it does seem like they're going to go for it. They are going to gamble on this round. Util isn't actually
it's
that
not bad. Yeah. They're okay.
Some creative accounting there coming from the Complexity camp.
So we're nearing the end of this closed qualifier, Mike, and in true Inferno fashion, there's no clear lead here from either side. There's no clear sense of momentum. GODSENT, they've got the first 4, but Complexity were able to save enough rifles on 4 to make this one another full-on buy, maybe a little bit lighter on the utility than they'd like. They've got 2 Molotovs. What's...
Run boost. I just got excited. I just like seeing run boost.
Okay.
Just rapid play gets me going. You know.
I hear you.
Movement mechanics. Just gets me excited. There was no one to peek though, so run boost not so exciting.
4 players stacked up here for complexity, so they're expecting some heavy A presence, but a couple of players can rotate quickly, in particular JT, who has been cycling between both bomb sites. And GODSENT, you have Henny dropping the utility for his teammate so he can go for this peek. And he's going to be the one to take contact here with the big green. Barton, he's trying to worm his way back in towards Boiler, but definitely, yeah, they heard that jump. That was Grim that heard it.
He wants to make that noise, though. I think he wants to hold the rotations. He wants to hold the players in place. And he's done exactly that. Floppy's now spotted the AWP. Fortunately, he gets out of that without any damage.
Barton's so tempted to peek here.
He really is. He would likely be to his death, but now actually they're withdrawing. This is interesting. How does Complexity read this? They've spotted the one top banana, and they floated 2 players over as a result. They've gone really passive, abandoned their aggro setup over on A. But now detecting no presence, no util, really.
It's adjusting now. It's adjusting now. They have a 2-1-2. They're okay.
Floating back. They're floating back, and maybe too late, though. Players already out. Players out by the hate carpet. Grim realizes in time to save his teammate, and Junior gets another shot as a result. So the A defense holds strong, and now GODSENT go hurtling towards the other side. The problem is there's 2 here. They haven't pulled the rotation. They haven't sold the fake, and now the footsteps being heard. They're even bringing comrades in, and Taco's down. Trying to clear that try is too much of an ask. They're being rebuffed. The bomb is down. There's no time. 10 seconds expiring on the clock. This is going to turn into a save for the remaining GODSENT players, and that's a huge round to take for Complexity. Not just take it, but take it clean.
Yeah, absolutely. Great adjustment from them, right? Because they had 4 players stacked up on the A side, and they said, oh boy, this is bad. If they're going B, we have to rotate. And they do. And there's a brief moment where you're like, oh boy, maybe they can charge on into that A site and capitalize on this. But there were still 2 players there. And then once the realization comes through from Complexity that it's not going to be a B hit, they cycle JT back towards CT spawn. He's able to support wherever needed. And, well, after that point, they dropped every single body and win the round, defending it. And, of course, they didn't even need to worry about the bomb plant, so no bomb plant money gained because time ran out on GODSENT. I like the idea for GODSENT to just try and go for something quickly. Maybe they were convinced that Complexity had full-on rotated to A and there wasn't going to be much presence there, but they were wrong. JT going to get the headshot through the smoke onto Henny, and that's a great opener for Complexity to find. They're going to re-smoke that and keep control of Banana firmly in their possession. Excellent start to this round for them as they're looking for their 12th. GODSENT taking their time. They have gained a little bit of positioning, and Barton has been so good at sneaking his way in towards Boiler. He's there again, and because he's made it this far, GODSENT say, well, you know what? You're there. Maybe you can give us some visibility, some information, and we can push up into bracket, and that's exactly what they're going to do.
Yes, indeed. That space is uncontested, but it's the next hurdle that will be challenging to cross.
Yes.
Next rung on the ladder, if you will. Counter util comes in, and again, time's starting to get a little low for GODSENT. It's 45 seconds. Not concerning yet. But this next salvo of util, whenever they throw it, is going to be the exit.
Kind of has to be A right now.
Molly gets devoted to clearing out the corner. I mean, it certainly is going to be. And jump spotting Banana, at one point do Complexity start to float the next player over? 25 seconds. 25 seconds. They're going to go. They got to go. They got to go now. Here comes the hit. There goes the kill for Grim. That one less clean. The second much better. And it's starting to fall apart here. Messi in the pit. Barton is doing his work once more. He's been huge for this team, but they don't have time. They don't have time. They have to go back to retrieve the bomb. It's been dropped, and now it's all falling apart. Doesn't matter what Barton does. He cannot win this round, and now he needs to avoid dying after the time, after the clock, and he's been dropped. Junior through the half wall, takes him down. No money for Barton. No round for GODSENT, and they see that lead build back up to 3 for Complexity.
Yeah, Complexity really putting the brakes on any type of aggression, forcing GODSENT to make the first move, and it just feels like GODSENT are stalling out. They're waiting and waiting and waiting, and eventually there's so little time left on the clock, they say, well, we got to try something. And at the end of the day, they can't get the space they need. Complexity realizing that GODSENT panicking, just lined up their shots, patiently waited for them to come into their crosshairs, and took care of business. 1:40 on the clock here, though. As we head into round number 22, Complexity have ended the round win streak for GODSENT at 4. Not to mention the last 2 rounds have been won on time, and they punished the economy of Barton by killing him right after time had expired. So you do see GODSENT able to invest here, Mike. Couple of AKs, a Galil, and an op, but dumau has to settle for the Deagle. They're going to try and execute more quickly here onto the A site. Might be a good play because there are 2 players here, but dumau's taking so much damage. Taco does get the opener, though, and then JT responds onto dumau, and Taco Fang drops Barton, and Lato falls by the wayside as well. Another 4K for JT as the IGL's pitching in at every opportunity he has.
That is a really bitter pill to swallow for GODSENT. They don't get a bomb plant. 4 players survive for complexity. Their money's gone. They're realistically going to have to take a pistol eco here. Meanwhile, Cole has now had 3 rounds in a row with the majority of their players surviving. Right? That cash is building. That cash is starting to flow in a big way. This is all of the momentum they had from the early rounds, from the rounds built off the back of the pistol, evaporating into thin air. Complexity now have their feet firmly under them. Lead to work with, momentum in their favor, and if they can just convert this against the Deagles, which more of an ask than you would think, considering the Brazilian Deagle power, then they've got 14.
I don't know how that nade doesn't do more damage to Lato there, but okay.
HEs are mythical beasts. Sometimes deadly. Sometimes just a figment of your imagination. Op bullets, though, pretty effective.
Very.
Very real.
Complexity. Have the presence here on the A side to deny this, and of course GODSENT just have the Deagles. I say just, of course, it's Brazilian Deagle, so they're always dangerous, but nice little pop flash thrown by Grim here to clear the spot for a peek, but I think he actually blinded Fang as well, so Fang had to fall back, and there's the headshot coming through from Barton, and he's waiting over at T-ramp, but Floppy spots him out, doesn't let him do any further damage. That said, Junior is a little exposed here. He's getting tagged down. It's getting scary right now for Complexity. Grim goes down to Lato after finding one. They do make their way onto the bomb site at least, but the bomb is not there. It is in mini pit right now, trying to throw a few flashbangs, but JT's dodged them both, and he has got the bomb dead to rights if he holds this.
25 seconds. They're trying to force the issue just to get out of the pit, and it's not going to happen. That one, maybe a little bit sloppier, scarier for the Complexity side, but the round win is all that ultimately matters. And they've now got a 5-round lead. And John, all they need is 2.
Wow.
And 2 rounds away. 2 rounds away from securing that spot in their hometown event in the first LAN back in North America in 2 years. I know I keep repeating that phrase, Pat. I understand. But you have to understand how exciting this is for John and I, right? Like, we've been casting so much Counter-Strike over this online era. And though LANs have come back to Europe, and I've even been and a couple, it means so much more for it to be back on our continent, to be back in
really
NA.
Does.
It means so much for us. It means so much for these players. It means so much for the scene in general. And it would mean so much for Complexity to be able to have that squad as well. But JT will be able to make that happen this round. He's dead. He's dead, John.
He is, and it's far from over, of course. It is a 5-round lead, but GODSENT are a resilient team, and they're not going to go down easy, I can tell you that. And JT got a little bold there on top of the half while he was just trying to peer over the smoke and get some information, but he got more than that. He got the bullets. 107 on the clock. GODSENT have gained the space here, and Complexity is aware of it, but they're still going to keep 2 players posted firmly on that A site because they're aware of the fact that GODSENT likes to rotate back here, and it looks like they are going to do so once more. Flashbang going to get tossed on over from Taco. He's just going to make sure no one is nearby. This might just be a fake because they're not committed yet, but they are making a ton of noise.
The thing is, if they find the space towards Arch as well, it's wide open.
Mm-hmm.
That would be huge. The Ops repositioning now, so they can't get through for free anymore. Once again, GODSENT starting to stall out. 35 seconds. 35 seconds. A molly goes in towards lane as well. That's going to slow them further. Now they're trying to rotate late. They're rotating to B with no information. It's the correct call because there's only one, but Floppy can just shut this down. He can just delete, and he's got the first. And now the rotations are on. Oh, he can't get any more. Can Junior get back on the angle? Is there a smoke for it? There is indeed. That's huge. Junior wants to get back around, but that's going to be the bomb most likely planted. And Grim falls towards the other side. Well, what a shot for Junior. Oh, tried to deny, knowing that that would have run them the round. dumau just gets the bomb down in time. Now the retake is required. He'll wait for his teammate to join him. It's Fang to come on in. Should know that a player is still isolated here on the right side, so Fang's going to come to try and get that kill on the player pool. Ooh, Fang can't hit the shot, though. And this is now a bit much in terms of an ask, and it's not going to happen. GODSENT keep themselves fighting here. Find their 10th.
Yeah, good job by GODSENT. Great rotation. I thought Floppy would be able to shut them down, but he only gets one, and a fantastic shot coming through from GODSENT to clear him out. And then the smoke was there for CT, which means Junior couldn't use the op to deny the plant. And he almost does, right, on the wall bang through the coffins, but it just does not come to fruition. One thing I like there, I'm pretty sure Grim threw the smoke towards Pit to make it look like he was hiding there, and he was actually on balcony. So I like the idea. Unfortunately, that micro play didn't make a difference in the round. It might have forced a rotation for GODSENT, but probably not. Complexity pushed up a little bit here. They do a lot more utility damage than is delivered to them on the GODSENT side, as dumau and Henny are around half health.
This round's not happening, I don't think. Has any damage been done? It has been. Ooh, a lot
Not
of damage
live.
has been done.
Floppy is saying not live question mark. It's being agreed upon by GODSENT.
I don't think you can do
No,
that
no, no.
once damage is in.
They said nope. They said live.
Yeah,
you
you can't
changed
not
it.
live it. Once damage is in,
Yeah.
whatever's going on will have to be resolved after this one. So both sides take a little bit of a break, but the rules are very clear. So I don't know what's happening. Hopefully we'll get it sorted out here in a flash. Molotov down. This could be a critical round to have some sort of an issue in. Leads in. And it seems like GODSENT want to bring it back towards A, but look at this read. Look at this read from Complexity. They've gotten a lot swifter with their rotates. And once again, time is starting to get a little low for GODSENT. We're past that 35-second mark. This has to start to get you nervous if you're a fan of the Brazilian team. And Junior's going looking. Junior's going fishing. He wants confirmation that players are here. He's posted up. Henny on the angle as well. He just spotted that nade. I think get tossed out of boiler. He knows. He knows now. Now he's going dipping in, but the flashbang timing is brutal. He wants more. A counter flash. He's back on the angle, and he's got the first shot, but they're going to chase him on down. He just wanted to delay, though. 14 seconds and 2 players on site. Can they get this bomb planted?
No.
10, 9. And then he stopped.
Oh,
That's
denied.
It. That's it. That's it. I don't know if they had time. dumau might have just gotten it.
Oh.
He did not. That's going to be the round for Complexity. Map point found. Series point found. Half a second, all the difference. And that might be Complexity taking this home. One more round. All that's needed. GODSENT defeated by the clock once again.
Man, that is the not live call too. Don't forget, Mike, that
Yeah, it
GODSENT
slowed
was
them.
initially actually Barton from GODSENT that was calling the not live, but that burned like what 5-10 seconds off the clock while the confusion was going down. But the damage had been done, and the rules are clear. If there's damage done in a round, you cannot call the not live. So I think they were just told, nope, you got to go, and it was live once more. And Complexity take it. In the end, GODSENT just didn't have enough time left to go for that execute, and I like the way Complexity played it just passively. Even though they ended up losing the fights, the timer was in their favor, and a great job isolating the bomb planter and getting them through the box. So Complexity, 1 round victory away from joining Liquid in the main event, Mike.
1 round. 1 round. Tension on. See if Complexity can close it out here. Here's the aggression. They're just going for the yeet play. Grim's all the way down mid, and he's got the execution shot. Damage onto the log pile player. Oh my goodness, this is madness. They found 3. They're looking to end it all here, and they've got it. It's all on the lotto. It catches GODSENT completely off guard with their pants down, and Fang will find the last kill. Complexity are going to IEM Dallas. They've got their spot in their hometown event. They are fighting in that first NA LAN. They've done it. They're going to represent the Cowboys star in Dallas, Texas, John. That is enormous.